Good evening, and welcome to MSU's Inside Out. I'm not usually your host, but for today's situation, I'm your host, Tyler Lubin, joined by...
I'm Troy Cowell. I am the weather boy making my return to air today.
Today, we're going to be taking you through our whole show, as most of our talent is joined in the Midwest Broadcast Conference. We wish them the best of luck and safe travels. I will be doing the news, sports, and conducting 3 interviews today. And today, we're going to focus on senior spotlights in the department, such as Cody Dwyer, Juan Gutierrez, and Jordan Rodriguez.
Yes, and I'll be covering weather from various spots around the world, I'm very excited for today's show, Tyler.
I am very excited. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to this. This is a pretty rare experience. And if you're viewing today, I think it's a pretty cool thing to watch.
Definitely unique. You're not going to see a lot of these on air anywhere.
No, so we might as well go to weather.
Might as well get right to it. Hey, I'm just going
to
to start walking on over this way here. As we're going to take a look at weather from different parts of the world. Had some ups and downs as fans this year, but definitely a big fan. Here as we get ready to take a look at San Diego's weather. It is currently 61. And the high today.
Thank you, Troy. That was a little personal. I'll let that one slide. This is Tyler with the news. Registration for the upcoming summer and fall semesters is currently going on. As of March 29th, all current Minot State students can register for classes for next semester. Be sure to get in contact with your academic advisor for any future assistance. The Minot State Career Fair was held on campus yesterday. Companies from all over the Ward County area held an interactive career fair for students interested in employment opportunities. If you missed out, be sure to look out on the next career fair sometime next year for more employment opportunities. Entries for the annual Minot State University Juried Student Art Show is open now. Open to all Minot State University students, the Juried Student Show has been on campus tradition since the early 80s. The JSS gives students the opportunity to participate in professional exhibition where a qualified external juror selects and designates work for artistic awards of distinction. Entry forms and more information are available online at the Northwestern Arts Center. MSU's The Lookout is an in-depth look at those around the community making an impact. On this week's episode, Samuel Stinson hosts co-editor Mary Lee Rowe about their new edited collection, Embodied Environmental Risk in Technological Communication, Problems and Solutions Towards Social Sustainability. This episode can be found online. March is National Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, a month-long celebration of people coming together to form an inclusive community to celebrate everyone for their unique abilities. In 1987, President Reagan designated March to promote awareness about developmental disabilities, instilling the importance of the inclusion in everyday life and share the success stories of individuals with these disabilities. The disability community is vast and includes those with disabilities, but also their family members, supporters, care providers, professionals, and friends. The NDCPD and Minot State University is celebrating this month by promoting disabilities awareness. Stop by their office, Memorial Hall 200, to pick up trinkets and check out different videos about disability awareness. The Student Leaders Summit will be held on Saturday, April 30th from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. This event is intended to prepare and inspire incoming and returning students for leadership roles within campus organizations at Minot State University. The schedule will feature guest speakers, breakout workshops, individual and group strength assessments, team building, and much more. Breakfast and lunch are included. Prizes will be awarded throughout the day. This event is free of charge and designated for student leaders, officers, members, and those interested in future leadership roles. While we encourage clubs to attend as a group, students are welcome to attend independently as well. The Honors Program and Engagement Scholarships offer 3 annual awards to recognize the contributions and achievements of the Honors Program students: Excellence in Community Service, Excellence in Leadership, and Outstanding Honors Thesis. Nominations are now being accepted through March 31st. Once again, that is Tyler with the news, and back to Troy with more weather.
Welcome back over here to the weather corner. I am the weather boy, Troy Cowell. We're going to take a look here at Salzburg, Austria. My dad.
Thank you very much, Troy, for that insight. With the semester winding down, we here at KMSU would like to spotlight some of our seniors in the department. Joining us first is Cody Dwyer. Cody, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So what would you like to do after graduation?
So right now, our plan is to, me and my girlfriend, move to Chicago. We're both hoping to get jobs kind of in our field. She's also actually a professional communications major. She has an option in public relations and writing, journalism, that sort of stuff. And I have an option in production, but I also have a Bachelor of Science in Marketing I'll be graduating in the spring with. So, hopefully getting something within our career field so we can start getting that ball rolling for us.
Sounds very exciting. So how would you describe your time at Minot State?
At first, it was pretty rocky. Being an 18-year-old kid, moving kind of far away from home. Didn't really know anybody, so it was kind of a little nerve-wracking. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I came in as an athletic training major, quickly realized that was not for me. People on campus steered me in the direction of broadcasting at the time is what it was called. It was a way that I could be creative, but without, like, I always thought creativity was only like drawing or singing or stuff like that. And I was always creative, but I was never good at those things. But in broadcasting, I was able to be creative in a completely different mode, which was really exciting. And then it's also been pretty cool seeing like the names that I remember when I first came up with all like the seniors then. And then now I'm coming back in here. This is my last semester in the show, and there's a whole bunch of faces I don't recognize. So it's really cool seeing like this transition from one set of kids to another. It's really fun to be a part of.
I understand that. So talk about you kind of mentioned about the department. How would you describe your time in the department? You know, kind of what have you learned about yourself and your kind of growth?
The department is, I would make the argument that it's probably one of the more fun departments to be a part of. I know for my marketing classes, sometimes it can be a bit of a drag. There's a lot of lectures. Accounting classes are no sorts of fun. And then we come into here and there's minimal tests. We do a whole bunch of projects. We just get to be creative. You know, it just makes the whole experience of being in school just like so much better. And you make friends like you two. This has been absolute, like kind of a shell shock. I didn't realize it's going to be this much work, but it's been so fun to be a part of today.
You can say that again. So kind of talked about you played basketball here at Minot State. Kind of talk about that experience, what it meant to kind of put on the Beaver uniform.
Yeah, so I felt, you know, when our season ended, I'm no longer, I don't have any more eligibility left. It's over now for me. But I was really looking back, like, how can I measure my success as a Minot State basketball player? And I really came down to, is our program in a better spot than it was when I came? And really looking at it, I think so. We used to be kind of the laughing stock of the conference. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's Minot, whatever. We can just roll into Minot and beat them." And now people respect us, and we're able to get much better talent. So seeing what we were to where we're at now is it's something to really be proud of.
Balancing life as a student athlete can be kind of challenging. Would you like to kind of talk about kind of how you learned to kind of be a student athlete at Minot State?
Yeah, so you kind of have to roll with the punches a lot. You kind of, like, high school doesn't prepare you for it, unfortunately, because for me, at least, high school was relatively easy. The classes aren't super stressful. There's not a whole lot of time dedicated to basketball, but coming here, you kind of get hit the ground running right away. You're not given any time to like segue into it. You got to be going right away fast. So I struggled the first couple of weeks, but my coaches held me to a higher standard and made sure I had got all my studies done and I was excelling on the basketball court. So it was a good lesson to really learn for life.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the insight once again. That is Cody Dwyer, senior here in the Professional Communications Department. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our underwriters. We'll be right back.
Thank you to all of our underwriters. Trinity Health is a comprehensive healthcare system based in Minot, North Dakota.
Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
SRT, offering a number of services including phone, TV, internet, and security.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
East End, where the poor is worth so much more, located in downtown Minot.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
Nice Impressions, no job is too big or too small, located in downtown Minot.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
MSU Bookstore for all your campus needs.
Minot Nutrition Addiction, offering healthy smoothies and meal replacements on the go.
H-Bar B Construction for all your oil field needs.
Bear's Cat Donuts, located on Broadway across from Minot State campus.
Look.
Yeah, welcome back over here in the weather corner. My name is Troy Cowell, and there's Tyler over there. So hi, Mom. My mom was just out in Calgary, where I grew up, and I believe Burrito's watching too, so hi, Burrito. So currently in Calgary, either it's 43 degrees, and for you Canadians, that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Don't get that twisted. The high today was 47, the low was 23. Partly cloudy, partly sunny. Weather's very similar to what we've been having here in Minot recently. A little colder maybe over the night hours, but not bad overall there. It's Tyler Lubin is once again standing by for another segment, so we're going to toss it back to the desk with Tyler.
Thank you, Troy. We're joined by another MSU senior here, Juan Gutierrez. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What would you like to do after graduation?
Honestly, my main goal right now, I'd like to go into the PR field for a winery business. So, kind of work in the behind the scenes of setting things up and kind of just having that foundation for like events.
So why the professional communications department? What made you choose that?
Honestly, long story short, my first college I went to, I actually dropped out, and trying to climb back up. Comm was the first kind of degree that you don't really need that high of a GPA to get into. So it started off like that, and then kind of just I started liking it, listening to like how communication is really relayed with people, and just kind of fell in love.
How would you describe your time in the department then, if you kind of came in and?
Honestly, this is probably one of the best comm departments I've witnessed in ever, actually. Kind of just coming in, I'm more of a sports guy. All I do is really focus on running, track, stuff like that. So once I got here, like kind of being involved into this program and just everybody around it, it kind of just made me look forward more into actually being here for school-wise and not just the sports.
Now, kind of a in-depth question here. What did you learn about yourself in your time at Minot?
Honestly, mainly just that I'm able to do a lot more than what I think. Being in this broadcasting department, they throw you into everything radio, behind the computers, editing, graphics, all that stuff. And to me, all those things, something I would never really learn on my own, but this kind of like pushed me to go out of my way and, I don't know. I kind of just like the whole like setup that it has, and just being able to grow and learn from everything.
Now, was the weather kind of a shell shock for you?
Oh yeah, California, sunny rays all day. Nice little 60. Over here, it's 30s, snowing, negative wind chill. Oh, the wind chills are horrible. But yeah, no, it hasn't been too crazy, but it took a little adjustment.
What would you tell someone who never experienced a Minot winter how to prepare?
Oh, get big puffy coats. I mean, the cold ain't really too bad. It's that wind that kills you, and it's pain. It's pain.
Now, I know you. I see you do any kind of extracurricular activities in your time here at Minot State, like sports?
Basically, yeah, just sports. My schedule is already like filled up with school already, and track and field and cross country. That's basically year-round training. I get like maybe a week or two off, but yeah, so just track and running.
To combine kind of two questions into one, how does the cold weather affect your training?
It's different, honestly. It definitely, I feel like you go a little slower running in the cold weather. The winds definitely a lot harder, but over here in Minot, it's all really flat land, so I'm kind of used to running hills, so it kind of like evens out with the pacing wise.
Now, similar to kind of Cody, being a student athlete in the communications department comes with time management. Did you learn anything in the last couple of years that kind of helped you make things easier?
Basically kind of what I already knew. I'm pretty decent with planning stuff ahead of time and just kind of organizing myself so I already have like a set routine and schedule throughout the day. So it wasn't too much of an adjustment that I had to make.
Do you think that your time at Minot State has prepared you for the future?
Big time, honestly. Yeah, like I was saying before, it just kind of threw me into a bunch of different fields and had me do a bunch of different or learn a bunch of different skills. So where I kind of feel like I'm prepared, not just for like PR, but anything outside or within that like communication range.
Any final messages, kind of things, words of reflection, or just
Roll beefs, that's about it.
all right? That is Juan Gutierrez, a senior here at KMSU. Right back to Troy with more weather.
Yeah, back here at the weather corner, obviously agreed with Juan there saying how this department's amazing. We're so lucky to have all these facilities. And as you see this beautiful green screen behind me, it's awesome. So we're going to take a look at KMSU on the road. As down in Minneapolis right now, the Minot's KMSU group, Red and Green Media Inc., a bunch of people from our department are down in Minneapolis for the Eric Severez Awards and the Midwest Journalism Conference. Congrats to Cole Clemented and, of course, Philip and myself. Our podcast also won an award. They're going to have some great weather while they're down there. It'll be 48 tomorrow, 36 over the night, 50 on Saturday, and 27 over that night, then 46 while they're on their way back to Minot. Very nice weather for them. They're very fortunate to be down there. Cool experience for everyone that's there. Tyler's standing by now with a different segment, non-interview sports. We're going to take a look at baseball and softball coming this way.
Thank you, Troy. This is Tyler with the sports. The Minot State Beaver baseball team returned home this week after a week-long road trip. The Beavers faced 3 NSIC opponents and finished the trip 5-2 to improve their record to 11-13 on the season. After falling 4-3 in Game 1, the Beavers rallied to win Game 2 against Sioux Falls in their first series of the trip. Senior Dylan Buckmeyer played hero as his bottom of the 7th home run gave the Beavers a 7-5 lead and allowed them to leave Sioux Falls with a series split. In the second series, the Beavers traveled to Winona for a 3-game set. In Game 1, the Beavers fell in similar fashion by a score of 4-3. The Beavers, however, would respond by taking the next 2 games behind pitchers Ricky Apodaca and RJ Martinez, both picking up wins. In the final trip, the Beavers headed to Wayne State for a doubleheader. The Beavers picked up where they left off and swept the 2-game series. Craig Schmidt and Trevor Badger played big roles out of the bullpen. The Beavers return home this weekend where they will host Upper Iowa at Corbett Field. The Minot State softball team looked to continue their historic start to their season by opening conference play against the U-Mary Marauders on Monday. The Beavers swept their in-state rival in a doubleheader. Pitchers Trinity Valentine and Jasmine Blizzard recorded wins. The Beavers continue to win, bringing their season total to 21. They travel to St. Cloud next week on April 2nd. The Minot State men's golf team concluded their NSIC preview tournament on Tuesday. The Beavers took home 12th place, but had some historic bright spots as Joshua Tu had an historic moment as he drilled a hole-in-one. The Beavers will continue their season on April 4th at the Hard Rock Spring Invitational. The Minot State football team has hired a former pro and all Big 12 lineman Dave Volk as their new offensive line coach this season. Volk brings experience and an impressive resume to the Beavers. Volk was quoted as saying, "I couldn't be more excited about the opportunity to be a part of the Minot State football family." The Beavers are currently in spring ball and have their eyes set on next season. Once again, that is Tyler with the sports. Back to Troy with the weather. Thank you, Troy, for that in-depth look at weather. We'll be right back after a word from our underwriters.
Are we going straight into the interview or do I just
Welcome back. If you really love weather, again, you're absolutely going to love this next segment. Coming is from the Papa John's Weather Report is Troy Cowell.
Welcome back. We're here to the Papa John's Weather Corner. I am Troy Cowell. We're going to start by taking a look out here in the eastern part of the state here. It's currently 34 up in Grand Forks and down in Fargo there, 30. Both towns have very good universities as well as sports teams out there. Out west, it's 57 in Wilson, down Dickinson, 58. Here in the Magic City, 48, beautiful day. And down in Bismarck, it is 43 in the capital city here. And now we're going to sit around here. Tyler's got another great interview lined up. This guy's a hot shot, man. What can I say? Toss it back over to Tyler.
Thank you very much, Troy. And our final senior spotlight is senior Jordan Rodriguez. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Lubin. I appreciate it, buddy.
Now, very similar question. The first interview is, what would you like to do after graduation?
Graduation, obviously, the big goal would be to get into sports, whether that be play-by-play or as a sports anchor. But honestly, I'm open to anything to start off. I'm fine with reporting or whatever the entry level may take me. So I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with everything.
Now, how would you describe your time at Minot State?
I loved it. It's been pretty eventful, my journey. So I started here in 2017 with you. Came here for 2 years, transferred out to Purdue Northwest, and then Neil ended up convincing me to come back for my final 5th year, and here I am. So
Neil called you. So why did you pick the broadcasting department?
Much like Cody, I started off in athletic training for my first year, and then I still wanted to be around sports. So I tried to find something that allowed me to still be around sports long after my playing career is over, and I feel like broadcasting brought that to a whole nother level.
Now, what have you learned about yourself in your time at Minot State? And you said you took a break in between, so clearly there's been kind of a growth between your first year and now.
Yeah, no, definitely. So from here at Minot, they kind of just, I wouldn't say throw you into the fire because that sounds kind of bad, but they they throw you into it, so you kind of have to learn how to adjust and be comfortable and be confident in what you do. And you get a whole lot of reps here, so getting those reps allows you to be able to feel comfortable and confident. And much like sports, you know, like a lot of us in here are athletes, so you keep getting that repetition, and you'll be confident and comfortable with what you do.
Talk about athletics for a minute. Playing collegiate baseball, I know for me, has been a challenge. Clearly, you know, anytime you go from school to school, would you say that the baseball kind of was something that you relied on to kind of, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Baseball, I feel like much like a lot of athletes, we were kind of rely on our sports to get us to that next level. So from high school, we rely on baseball, football, basketball, whatever, to get us to college. And once we get to college, you can't really ride that out anymore. So that kind of takes away from focusing on your your academics. And so that's why I went to Purdue. I transferred out for baseball reasons, not really academic reasons, even though it was, I guess, a bigger school or more well-known school or whatever however you want to say it. But I kind of focused more on baseball than the academics. But that's kind of why I ended up coming back here, because I understood and I realized that, you know, you can't really beat what we have here.
What did baseball teach you kind of as like kind of life lessons?
I was always really quiet as a kid and shy. And so if you were to tell me I'd be doing stuff like this 4 or 5 years ago, I wouldn't believe you. But baseball and sports in general honestly taught me to be, you know, outgoing and form those bonds and friendships that it's really hard to find outside of the playing surface. So I think that's one thing that sports has taught me.
Any kind of final message out there, kind of reflections on kind of what you've been through?
I'm roll Beavs, obviously.
Of course.
But, you know, it's been a journey. It's been cool to see Troy and you and Phil and a lot of the guys I came here with kind of grow and mature in what we do. So it's really an honor to see that.
That's great. That is Senior Jordan Rodriguez, our final senior spotlight of the show. And such a great segment. We won it 7 times. Here is Troy Cowell with the final weather report.
Yeah, welcome back to the weather, Papa John's weather report area. Much like Jordan and Cody, I was also an athletic training major, so kind of found our homes here and thankful for that. As we're going to take a look at the 7-day forecast here in the Minot area. So currently it'll be 54 tomorrow. Currently 27 will be the low over the night, partly cloudy, partly sunny. Saturday, great day to go watch some baseball. Tyler might be pitching. That'd be fun to see him throw that submarine sidearm. 46, 30 is the low that day. Expect some rain Sunday, as that's the start of our May shower, our showers to bring some May flowers, rather. Expect some sun on Monday, 54. Sorry about that. Rain Tuesday and Wednesday, 46 and 43. And then next Thursday, when you come back here to get the weather, Han will be here. You won't have to see me anymore. The weather boy will be retired, hopefully. And we're going to toss it back to Tyler, as we're almost wrapped up here, Tyler.
I agree, Troy, and it really breaks my heart to say that would be the last time I get to watch Troy Cowell do the weather, as I am graduating in 40 or so days, but not really counting. But thank you so much for joining us. This has been such a special occasion. We went through our senior spotlights. We touched on the news and the sports and all that's going around.
You touched on the news and the sports.
Well, yes. The historic start to the softball team. Baseball starting to rally around. Very exciting time for sports at Minot State, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so. And it's just a very exciting time around this campus in general. Approaching Giving Day, a big day for the school to make some more money for departments. And as much as like athletes, school teams are getting ready for their final push here in the spring semester sports. It's exciting to be around this campus right now.
I agree. And we'll be back next week with our regular cast, unless you guys want to try to, possibly make this a long time thing, which, we're okay with.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm Tyler. That's Troy. And you stay magical, Magic City.